Bored Panda. Sick people, Lily Phillips slammed for controversial 50-man stunt that left friend needing surgery. Yeah, that's what we're doing today. So Lily Phillips, as we all know, if you haven't been paying attention to what's going on in modern times, Lily Phillips is an OnlyFans creator who does trains. She pulls trains. Yeah, you gotta love this timeline that we're living in now, where women are such high quality, high caliber. Adult star Lily Phillips has once again sparked a fair amount of controversy for her participation in questionable challenges. Partnering with her friend Tiffany Goodtime, also known as Wisconsin Tiff on TikTok, the 23-year-old decided to undergo a graphic challenge that involved 50 men, going in their back door. And now I'm wondering, is that 50 men altogether, or was it 100 men split between the two of them? That's something that I would want to know. Most men, in my experience, and I think this is true, because I've read about statistics on this too. Most men are one and done. They're done for a good while after one. Now there are some men who don't have that problem at all. One is never enough for some men. The video, which showed the two girls in white robes and various men each holding a number between 1 and 50 cheering in the background, has now gone viral and, unsurprisingly, drawn fierce criticism. Yeah, so the men are to blame for this. They do have culpability in this sort of stuff. Have higher standards for yourselves, men. Why are you sticking your wiener into a human dumpster, a human receptacle of filth? This is disgusting. So I guess this is how we could read through the highlights here, so you know what this article is going to be about. Lily Phillips and her friend Tiffany Goodtime sparked controversy with a stunt involving 50 men. Tiffany needed reconstructive surgery after the challenge. Lily Phillips spoke about the emotional toll that affected her after betting 100 men in one day last year. Yeah. There she is. Also seen in the clip were a few of the men wearing masks, which comments deemed to be those who were married. No, maybe they just don't want to be seen doing this. When these women were pulling these 100-man stunt, and when now I can't remember the other one's name off the top of my head, who supposedly did 1,000 men in 12 hours. There were men who were getting out of line because their conscience couldn't handle the notion of them being involved in something like this. Because believe it or not, men do have feelings. I just have strong ethical lines that I don't cross. It's like, I can't be number 726. Ooh. But on top of that, it's like, I am worth more than a masturbatory aid. I value women more than using them for masturbatory aids. Anyway, if you like my content, please remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe. You can find me on Rumble and on Twitter. Let's get back to the article here. The two adult stars, I don't think they're both stars because I've never heard this Tiffany Goodtime person, documented every bit of their journey getting ready, from getting their hair done to the aftermath where Goodtime could be seen picking at dry areas of her face. Okay. The guys had a blast. We had a blast, Phillips said after the challenge had been completed, calling her collaborator a trooper, who additionally had to get reconstructive surgery on her back door after the stunt. Imagine that. Imagine her getting her reconstructive surgery done on her back door. Wonder why that happened. And hey, look, before you just like, oh, you're such a prude, hey, if you are in a monogamous relationship with two consenting adults and you guys want to do backdoor stuff, have at it. I encourage you. Some women really like it in the back door. Some women ask for that. If that's what you want to do with them, go right ahead if you're in a relationship. That's the whole caveat here. These women don't understand why this sort of stuff happens. It doesn't make sense to them. They do not comprehend. And I'm going to explain this to you later on when we get through this article. Those on social media, however, were a little less enthusiastic about what had happened, instead taking pity on the two girls. Yeah. Why would you take pity on these people? They're doing it to themselves. And here's the image of them with I assume the announcement. It says Lily Phillips and Wisconsin Tiff 50 guy back, and then there's a picture of a door, and then the word challenge. Lily Phillips is better looking than Wisconsin Tiff, but Wisconsin Tiff appears to be really petite, and that's what I prefer. So, can you imagine how embarrassed their families are? One person asked, yeah. And one of the females ended in hospital. Sick people on both ends of this story, another remembered. Yeah, and like I just said, the men are culpable in this too. Shame on all of you, a third said, yeah. Here's a bunch of men holding up their numbers. Someone wrote, it's literally soul destroying to know that this is what the younger generation are exposed to these days. So very sad. The fact that they are proud of this blows my mind, another commented. I have 2 daughters. I'm going to give them a lot of love in life. Poor woman, a user remarked. As a woman, I'm so embarrassed. A netizen chimed in. Yeah, and here's Wisconsin Tiff covering her face and crying, saying having surgery after doing 50 guy backdoor challenge with Lily Phillips. Oh, what is this?
To have reconstructive surgery on my back door. And you may be wondering, how did I get myself into this situation? You see, I thought it would be a fun idea to let 50 guys in my back door, along with my friend Lily Phillips, because, you know, we like to do things that are crazy. But with that being said, I did a number on that back door. Not only that, but I've been doing this for a really long time, so for several years. And there's a lot of girls in the industry who haven't been doing it really long, or they haven't done it at all. So, I mean, if you think about it, I've been doing it for almost 21 years because I'm almost 37. So yeah, do the math. I've been doing it for a really, really long time. And with this line of work that I'm in, it needs to look perfect. And, you know, here I am at the surgery place. Hi. Yes. Tiffany. Okay. Taking a urine test to make sure I'm not pregnant, which I am not because, you know, I only do the back door. I really do think that this might become a trend, and I'm just putting this out there. Unless you're wanting to pay thousands of dollars, don't try this at home. Would I do this again?
Maybe it's
probably, but that's because I'm a professional. This was one of the most painful recoveries I've ever been through. So you can see the pain. It was so bad because I had stitches in there. It was so hard to push and every moment hurt. But yeah, hopefully I can share this experience and bring awareness to this.
These women are ruining their bodies for money. Oh, it'll be fun. Really? It'll be fun? It's all about fun. It's all about the emotion. It's all about the experience. Okay. Well, I'll get to it. Don't worry. Reveal the way this needs to happen and why it needs to happen that way. One mother voiced, I fear for my daughters growing up in this world where certain women think this is normalized. This really isn't something to be proud about. You need serious help, someone stated. The OF content creator has also recently opened up about her emotional state after betting 100 men in one day last year. What does she say about that? When the Derbyshire native filmed her sexcapade in October for the Goon Squad Productions YouTube documentary, I Slept with 100 Men in One Day, it appeared as if Phillips was somewhat of an emotional wreck behind the scenes when the experience had been portrayed in a positive light publicly. She was initially worried that the men hadn't enjoyed themselves, but has now revealed that she simply wasn't prepared for the emotional toll it would have on her. She told The Sun's Fabulous, I'd done something like 37 men before, so I thought, let's try to push myself to the limit a little bit. It took so much longer than I thought. It was so much more exhausting than I thought, and I just hadn't prepared myself properly for it. It was just a long day. That's what it was. I was crying because it was such a long day. Different from the story that she told while she was crying, where she said, I don't know if I gratified all of the men while you had condoms left inside of you. Good job. The way that I did it, I think that's what had that kind of emotional effect on me. Like giving every guy 5 minutes, having a chat with all the guys. Yeah. So you don't want to have a chat with them. You don't want to get to know them as human beings. They're just going to be dildos for you. Okay. Yeah, you're an idiot. Man, these women are evil. These are evil human beings. Recalling the eventful day, Phillips described it as very intense, and that she was left feeling exhausted and upset by the end of it. While emotional, the rumors that she'd been forced into it were entirely false. Sometimes you just disassociate. It's not like normal sex at all, the adult star said. In my head, I can think of 5, 6 guys, 10 guys that I remember, and that's it. It's just weird, isn't it? If I didn't have the videos, I wouldn't have known that I'd done 100. Yeah, and that's what she said in the when she was crying. And well, yeah, you think about that. Sex is can be an incredible bonding experience for human beings. It generally is a bonding experience for human beings. Two people come together and are completely vulnerable, physically vulnerable with each other. Because either person, I mean, you put yourself in this position where either person could harm you. So you're putting a lot of trust in another human being. You're doing this with strangers, with men you don't know. You're doing it with a whole bunch of them at one time. And it's going to be worse for women because women are smaller and weaker than men on average. Duh. What the hell do you think is going to happen to you? BB says, where are the parents, aunties, etc.? I know kids don't listen, but how does your life go that far wrong? Yeah. Bonita G says, I honestly think these women are not doing it by choice and are portraying it on social media as such. They're messed up actualities when it comes to adult entertainment behind the cameras. I don't think so, because Lily Phillips runs her own business. It's her business. It's hers. And you might think that she's lying about that on camera, but I'm sure you could look that up and find out that information, because if it's a registered business, it's hers. And you think that women don't want to be promiscuous? You think that women don't want to sleep around? I've had women tell me to my face that's what they want to do. I've had women I've dated been like, you don't mean anything to me. That sex that we had doesn't mean anything to me. You think that those women don't want to sleep around? So ridiculous. OnlyFans equals poor souls and poor people is what Oliver JB says. Steve Clement says, that's what happens when you have more pricks than a secondhand dartboard. Paula Butterworth, her family must be so proud. Cole Fearson, that's disgusting. Yep. Chloe Moth, it's literally for sympathy, pity, and attention. No, it's maybe for attention, but it's not for sympathy and it's not for pity. These women do not want your sympathy. They do not want your pity. They want your dick. That's it. So I knew a girl who would tell me the stories about her going out and meeting guys in bars. And then she was stupid enough to go home. She even lamented us, like, I was the stupid one who would go home with him. And it's like, then she wanted to get with me. I'm like, you think I want to be with a person who would allow herself to be treated that way? Who would take what we would share, intimacy between the two of us, only the two of us, and just throw it away, give it away to anybody. Yeah, that's the kind of woman I want to be with. So why is it okay? What is the deal here? Oh, we're not going to get to that next. There's another video I want to show you here. Check this out.
If you guys didn't see my last story time, I invited 2 Tinder guys over and thought that it would be great to try a DP. If you don't know what it means,
Stands for double penetration. So she was getting one, in her case, she's going to get one in her front door and one in her back door. Guess what happened?
look it up. Anyways, they were way too rough and ripped me from hole to hole, which you can imagine is absolutely excruciating pain. So I'm now in the hospital and I'm laid here on my side. I don't know why they have me in this position. It's probably to air it out. They've stitched me back up. I have this, they've given me this little button that gives me drug pain medication every time I need to and when it starts to wear off, because it is absolutely painful. So I do not, under any circumstances, advise to do DP in any sort of way. Leave that for the pros. Clearly, I was not a pro.
No, it's not that you're not a pro. It's that you do not choose a man who cares about you. Stupid. Like I said, if you want to do this stuff, do it in a relationship. Do you think that a man who actually wants you to do well in life and be his partner and engage in these behaviors with him for both of your pleasure would want to hurt you in the process? I've had women complain to me that I was not rough enough with them. And I'm like, I don't want to hurt you. That's not what this is about. This is about feeling pleasure. I don't understand why you think that it has to be painful. I don't know, they have some sick women out there. The reason this woman destroyed her nether regions is because she chose two strangers. They don't care about you. They especially don't care about you because you're allowing them to do this sort of thing to you just because. Just because, you'll allow me to use you as a dumpster, as a masturbatory aid? Great. I don't care about you at all. Why else would they want to do this with you? They can't humanize you. They can't care about you. They don't know you. This is so much the problem with American women. Now, this woman is not an American woman. She has an accent. She sounds like she might be Australian. The woman I mentioned earlier who would hook up with guys that she met at bars got into a situationship with a man who she claims was 10 or 11 inches. And the last time they were together, she called him afterwards and said, "Hey, look, you really did something to mess me up here because of his size." Did he call her back? Did he have anything to do with her after that? He didn't care. It's ridiculous that you allow yourself to be treated this way. Why would you want to be close to somebody that doesn't care about you? And women know this. Women are the ones who are like, so in case you're not aware of modern dating in the Western world, especially in the United States, this is especially true in the United States. You're not allowed to, as a man, be the one to pursue a relationship. You're supposed to pursue a woman as a receptacle of human filth. And she's then supposed to fall in love with you and bring up the idea of a relationship. That's how it's supposed to work. It's an unspoken rule that all these women know, and they don't understand that they know this. Most of them. But that's how it is supposed to work. It's ridiculous. If you present yourself as, hey, look, I'm looking for a long-term commitment, women run the other way in America. They literally run the other way. I know, because that's how I always presented myself, and it didn't work. Until I found a foreign woman who was like, yeah, let's do it. Let's have a relationship. Wow, amazing. Imagine that. What do you know? On the screen, I'll read this little caption somebody left on here. It says, sorry to hear that. Hope your body heals very quickly. Some of the stuff you see on TV needs to either stay on, and that's cut off there. No, it doesn't need to stay on there. You just need to make sure that you're doing it with somebody who cares about you. Wow, imagine that. What a concept. Find a man who actually cares about you. In other words, don't give it up on the first date, second date, third date, 15th date. A new guy, no joke. When I first moved to California, I was living with this guy. He had a room in the back. And this girl came over. I hadn't lived there very long. So we moved in like the same day, practically. Smoking hot girl comes over and is like, hey, it was this guy here. I'm like, oh, yeah. Hold on. Let me show you where he's at. I'd never seen this girl before. I hadn't lived there very long. I just met this guy. And I went to close up the back door because his room was literally in the backyard. It was an office built onto the garage. He had the blinds open, and I could see through the blinds on the door that I was closing up the door there, the back door. And I could see that she was half naked. More than half naked, and he was rejecting her. And so what it turned out was he had decided that what he was going to do is he was going to date a girl for 6 months before they had bedroom time together. And apparently they were very much in love by the end of that 6 months. But yeah, she threw herself at him without having even gone on a first date with him. She just came over and was like, here, do me. And he's like, no. So men had to step up and be the ones to be like, no, you're not. I'm not going to do you. But girls are so weird and will get so finicky about every little stupid thing, especially if you're a short guy. They're just looking for reasons not to date you because you already have that deficit where it's like, oh, you're not that tall, so why do I even care if we stay together? I can find somebody who's taller and subsequently better. I have another video I want to share with you here.
So I've been doing this thing where I don't speak to a male at all, ever.
Of course. Yeah.
But last night I broke that promise to myself and got lost in someone's little blue eyes. And what I get for that.
What'd you get?
For that misbehavior.
What'd you get?
He pissed in my bed.
Oh, okay.
Now, this is from Replicant Fish. I apologize. I could not find this TikToker, even though I typed in the name exactly as it is shown right here. Couldn't find her. So I couldn't find this video. Maybe she's canceled her accounts because she has this heinous story to tell. But you deserve every bit of this. You are a bad person who deserves to have bad things happen to you.
He peed.
I thought those things were some dried up love action going on. You get the point. Let's not be too graphic, but wow.
He pissed in my bed.
Wow, it's some powder she put on the bed because man pissed her bed. Now look. Like I just said, where did some of these women find these men? Now, obviously, I think they were out drinking and obviously his bladder got loose and...
He pissed in my bed.
Yeah, so they were both a bit lit and they got busy and he just peed the bed. Some would say he marked his territory like a typical dog of a man. But comment this point here. Have you ever peed a woman's bed? Because I've never done this in my life. I'm a grown man. My bladder's good. It's intact. Comment this because apparently a lot of women say a lot of men have done this.
I have never urinated in someone else's bed. When I was a child, I used to pee my own bed, but never anybody else's. And that's kind of typical of children, right? Pee the bed.
A lot of men apparently have done this. So, whoa. Comment. That could be an accident. Obviously, you drank too much. But comment if you've ever peed a woman's bed. I don't think you would because some of you won't be that honest. That is interesting. But I want to use this perspective to paint a picture and my point as well. The want to be wanted is so powerful. Yes, a lot of people, men and women, have to sort of go against nature to, get to that mind space where they can be comfortable being single and by themselves. However, like this woman here, the woman's plot.
He pissed in my bed.
Part of her life story is her going against her singledom and getting lost in a man's dreamy blue eyes. And in his sleep of probably the dreamy blue oceans, he pissed all in her bed. Man pissed everywhere, wrecked everything. But again, she chose him, didn't she? She chose him.
For that misbehavior. He pissed in my bed. He peed. Everything is wet.
You're lucky he didn't take a shit as well. That would have been double trouble, seriously.
And I mean, sopping.
Damn.
Sopping wet.
Yes, nasty.
This is what I get.
The want to be wanted is...
Yes, that is what you get, and you deserve it. Why would you meet a man and then immediately engage in this activity with him? I mean, think about it, young lady. If he was your boyfriend and he did this, do you think he would be mortified and promise to work on the issue and help you clean it up? If he was your boyfriend, do you think, if you waited long enough, he might bring up this issue to you and be like, look, this is a problem that I have and we're going to have to do something about it. And, so I have to wear diapers or something. What, do you think that maybe he would have treated you with respect and dignity? But as it is, he does not care about you. He doesn't care about what you're going through. Especially, he doesn't care about you when you give it up so easily. You ladies are the problem. Yes, men have their responsibility in this situation as well. But stop giving it up so easily. Stop it. And you won't have these issues come up. Stop effing around and finding out. And I don't understand how it is that any woman out there is sitting there going, yeah, this is a good idea. After seeing things like this. That's a good idea. Yeah. After having these negative experiences themselves even. That's a good idea. I'll keep doing it. I'm going to keep acting the same way I've been acting my whole life. I don't care. I'm just going to, let myself be treated like garbage. Because I want to be connected to another human being, but at the same time, you're not actually building that connection. You're just doing the bedroom stuff, thinking that's how you build a connection. And it is if you find a good man who wants to do the same thing, who wants to just jump into that head first and then hold on for dear life and hope that you can make it work, even though you don't know each other. But how many men are like that? What other percentages of men are you going to find who are like that, who are so desperate for that, and you want to accept them and their desperation? Because women really do not like desperation. Men like desperation on women. They think it's great because it's like, I guess I stand a chance with her. But women do not like desperation in a man. It shows weakness. It shows feminine quality. Ridiculous bull crap. We all want to be loved. We all want to be accepted. We all want to have intimacy. But American men, we're not allowed to express that. We're not allowed to want those things. Okay. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Make sure you don't stick your wiki in crazy. Otherwise, have a good day.